Hello. Just so you know, this video isn't going to be as visually pleasing as what you would expect out of a theory video, because there's no movies for me to go off of. But I'm going to talk about how much there is to do with chess in the Amulet books. It's not a popular series, but it's one that I enjoy reading, and it's one that I would love to see turned into either a Lego game or a movie. Lego. I might work for you one day. Please let me make either a Lego Hunger Games or a Lego Amulet. But let's get into the theory. So, the first time we ever hear anything about chess is at the beginning of Book 4, otherwise known as The Last Council. So, as you can see, Emily is watching Icole as he sets up a chess table. Who are you playing against? No one yet. I'm simply preparing. We're about to enter Cialis, and you've been so quiet. I was starting to think something was wrong. I appreciate your concern, Emily. You should know that upon entering Cialis, you shall no longer hear my voice. Why? The city was built by early stonekeepers to silence the voices, blah, 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 blah. To be rude, but that sounds great. Is there anything more to do with the chess in here? Oh, notice how, the whole world starts collapsing, except for the chess table. Now, that's a bit strange. And we don't, oh, never mind, the chess table does collapse. And we don't get more chess. We don't get any more references to chess until the end of Book 5, The Prince of the Elves. So let me just get the page. Okay, so of course, this isn't in the actual book. This is just going on in Emily's mind. So she enters this temple with a bunch of people who look like they could be chess characters. Then, when she walks in, there's a single thing, a chess table, waiting for her. Then there's somebody who's trying to guard her from the chess table, but she destroys him. And she flings the chess things, the characters, off the table, only for them to set back into place. It is then when Icole is like, "So you want to play?" Emily picks up one of the pieces and moves it, saying, "Fine." Then Icole accepts the challenge. Well, no, Emily accepted the challenge. Icole, they start the game. And so what this means is, so with Book 5, it is really where the main, even though it's halfway into the series, it's where all the important stuff goes on. It's where all the important stuff goes on. And we don't see, to the best of my knowledge, we don't see more about chess until Book 7, Firelight. Let me just get the page. Again, I'm sorry this isn't as visually pleasing as my other videos or as other theory videos. But when they enter the man's memory, he goes to a shop. Gas station, and then the clerk says check, as if the clerk can see trellis, which he shouldn't be able to do so. But check is a term you would usually hear in chess when you're playing chess. For any of those who don't know, check is a term you use to say that, hey, your king is in a place where I can attack it, and the king is so important in chess. Basically, the whole game is about protecting your king, because if you lose the king, then you lose. And later in the book, not too much later, not too many pages later, we see that Icole wins the game. Emily didn't do anything to, Emily didn't do anything to protect her king, which gave Icole the opportunity to take it, having her lose the game. And it's worth noting that earlier in the book, not too much earlier, but like when they enter one of the memories, they enter this kind of maze. They don't know what it is. I don't think they know what it is. Okay, I went too far. I've gone too far back. Where is this page? Sorry for the long wait. Okay, so they're in this maze. And they see Max, who is the Prince of the Elves, and the King of the Elves, who is really just Icole. This might be spoiler. I should probably put in the title that this is spoilers. I'll make sure to do that. But we find out later in the series we find out earlier in the series that the king is dead. You see, the king, his stone, he's a stonekeeper, his stone is his mask. And since the king is dead, Icole is like taking care of the body and like taking care of the elf kingdom. Really, he's behind the elf kingdom. He's behind the war. At this point, he has like the major advantage. And both Trellis and Emily point out that they look like chess pieces. And Trellis even says, probably not far from their intended purpose. So like I said before, Emily loses to Icole. Icole gets her king. Causing her to transform into the phoenix and stuff like that. Of course, she didn't actually lose her king. This is metaphorical. But yeah, she turned into a phoenix. Wasn't able to control herself until like sometime in either like the middle or like the end of Supernova. And she didn't lose forever, in a sense. This is the part where I'm not so sure, because in the end, she won the game. No, she didn't win the game. It was a draw, sort of. Sometime in, like, near the end of Wave Crasher, I think that's the name of the book. It's the final book. In the end, Emily keeps talking about how Icole wants to, quote, keep playing. But up to this point, Icole hasn't played any games except for chess. You see, when Emily came back, they started a new game of chess. But Emily didn't want to continue this new game, that she would most likely lose. So she decided to let go of her guilt, let go of her anger, let go of everything else, and she decided for it to be a draw. She kept telling Icole, I know you want to keep playing. I'm paraphrasing right now, but she kept telling Icole, I know you want to keep playing, but it's time to sleep. And Icole keeps complaining about he doesn't want to sleep and how he wants to keep playing this giant game of chess. So really, wow, chess is very important in this book series. But other than it being a metaphor to what's going on, in the series, it isn't really important. it's like Coraline. There are lots of bugs, and like the only car in the movie is like a bug, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Coraline. It doesn't affect the storyline in any way. So while I would love for the chess match to like affect the actual storyline, it's really nothing but a metaphor for the series, or at least for books 5 through 9. So basically, here's what I've explained today. The entirety of Amulet, books 5 and up of Amulet are a giant chess match. Obviously, this is a metaphor. They're not playing chess. This is life they're playing with. Emily almost died several times. Many people died, actually. Like, especially near the last books. Many people died. Many people lost blood. Actually, yeah, especially in Prince of the Elves. There's a lot of Kool-Aid. But yeah, that is all I have to say about chess and the Amulet series. If anybody, so this is my first theory video, so if anybody wants to, debate in the comments, I'm open to that. If I missed any information that you think is pretty important, please tell me, because chess has a lot to do with this book series. So, that's going to be it for this video. Goodbye.